So recently, we got an announcement trailer for Final Fantasy VII, the remake, and it's supposed to be coming to the Switch 2. The same day that Switch 2 is supposed to launch, which is June 5th. That's going to be coming out along with Mario Kart World. And I have no idea what the price is going to be, but I'm hoping to God that's not going to be like 70 or $80 or anything like that, because Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is a game that came out a few years ago. So having it priced around like 70 or $80 doesn't seem reasonable, even if the console is new. And the thing is, the console itself is, it's really expensive. I think it's like 450 just for the console alone. And for those who want to get Super Mario World, you'd have to pay more than $500 for the console and the game. Even though you're getting a deal with the game, it's still, more expensive than what we got with the Switch console several years ago. And honestly, I feel like releasing Final Fantasy VII Remake for the Switch 2 on June 5th, which is the launch date of the console, is actually a smart move because more people are going to try and get the game when it comes out on the day the Switch 2 launches, especially if you get a bundle deal with both games where you pay less for the game compared to if you bought it by yourself. So having the game and the console together in a bundle where you get a deal is better than buying the game itself. I don't know what the price is going to be, but I have a feeling that Nintendo is going to do something where it's going to be way more than it should be, despite the fact that the game came out a couple of years ago. And looking at this, I'm starting to wonder whether or not Square Enix is eventually going to bring Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to the Switch 2 sometime in the future. Now, I know that game is still kind of new and it's been out for like a year now, but I don't know. I would stop and wait and see how Final Fantasy Remake does on the Switch 2 before jumping the gun and bringing Rebirth to the Switch 2 also. And the thing is, I actually learned from Polygon that we're supposed to be getting more like video games on the Switch 2 in 2026. And some of those games include the likes of Street Fighter 6, Hogwarts Legacy, and even Cyberpunk 2077. And I honestly feel like those games will look better on the Switch 2 compared to the Switch console, because the Switch console actually had lower resolution and quality than the PlayStation 4, and the Switch 2 is supposed to be on par with the PlayStation 4 in terms of resolution, quality, graphics, and all that other stuff. So I guess that's something that makes sense. But yeah, I do feel like Square Enix is still heavily relying on Final Fantasy VII to bring in revenue and stuff like that, because Final Fantasy 16 has become an afterthought for the most part. I don't see that game coming to the Switch 2, especially considering the fact that it's M rated, and for the most part, Nintendo like to have E rated and T rated games on their console because they appeal more to casuals and children and stuff like that. So it is what it is. And I do feel like I feel like Final Fantasy Remake, Intergrade will do a decent number on the Switch too, especially during launch. And the reason I say that is because like the game, it's an RPG. I mean, how many third-party RPGs do you normally see on any type of Nintendo console? Like within the past like couple of years or so, like you haven't like you haven't seen any high profile RPGs on like the Switch console or anything like that for the most part. And I honestly feel like Final Fantasy VII Remake is still a huge attraction. The Final Fantasy name still has value. People know what it is. And the 7 series um, is the most popular set of installments in the entire franchise. So I do feel like for the most part, Final Fantasy VII Remake will do decent on the Switch too. Um, I just don't know what the price is going to be. I don't know whether or not the game is going to be negatively affected by the tariffs being set in place along with the Switch 2. Yeah, there's a lot of questions myself and a lot of people have on that. We're just gonna have to sit back and wait and see how things play out. But until then, this is good news, and honestly, I can't wait to see how well this game does on the Switch 2 console this upcoming summer.